Good day to you. I have been asked by a member of the Hammock Forums UK about how I rig my tarps. So let's go to it. I also tend to store my tarp in the outside pocket, so if it's wet it doesn't spoil the downy goodness within. I haven't got this rigged up, so I thought I'd show you as I go along. It's in snake skins. Got both ends ready to go there. And for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to use 2.5mm Dyneema, because the small tiny 1.2mm Dyneema fishing line I tend to use for my tie-outs is a bit tiny to see. So I'm going to show you the simplest way I rig this is I just lark's head the line onto the ridgeline tie-out, pass that lot through there so that it's got a lark's head hitch on the top, and on one end I've got an aluminium knockoff LoopAlien there, and the other end I've got my 4 meters or so of cord, and that's what goes around the tree. Before I even started hammocking, I used to use end tie-outs on small tarps. Then when I got into hammocking in the bigger tarps, I thought, oh, I'll go and try a ridge line, drape it over the ridge line, that will give more support for the big tarp. And then I was using Prusiks to tension it out. And then I went over to Derek Hansen on the Ultimate Hang and tried out his method where you got the washing line thing, so you can adjust it from one end and slide it back and forth. I'll give you some links down there, show you what I mean. But I've gone back to just simple end tie-outs. It's less cord and less tangly, and you don't need the strength of a ridge line to support your tarp, I think. So this lot goes around the tree. I normally make these up figure of 8 style around the let's rock, and then tie it off so I can just pull the end like so, and it all comes out without tangly wangly. So that goes around the tree. I tend to start out above head height and then drop it down as needs be in the weather. I'll give you some close-ups of this. So, I've got a LoopAlien, lark's headed onto the end of the line there, just with a knotted figure 8 knot loop. And then the bit that goes around the tree goes off and comes back to the LoopAlien, and I get the tight bit and the loose bit, so the working end and the bite. That goes through the big eye and hooks over the little eye. So the working end comes around the back of the little eye and back through the hole, and long as it's on that side, it'll get trapped between the tight working line there. You can see that it's forcing it against the body of the LoopAlien, holding it tight. I think I've done another instruction on that. Then to lock that off, all you need to do is take the loose end and thread it around the back, so it also gets trapped in there. You do that a few times. You probably only need to do it a couple of times. For a hammock, I tend to, when I'm using stainless steel LoopAliens, I'll do 3 or 4. 4 if it's wet, 3 if it's dry. I've had one slippage, but that was only when I had greasy hands and I lubed everything up by accident with my greasy hands. It was only a slow trip to the floor. Okay, so let's go to the other end. I'll show you the other method, how I rig up the LoopAliens on the end tie-outs. Ah, good, you're already here. Well done. Good skills. So I've got myself another guy tie-out, end tie-out. This time I've got it rigged slightly differently, and I'll show you what I've done. So, loose it off. Now this time, I've put the LoopAlien, lark's head it on along the line, and this means you can move the LoopAlien to where you want it, anywhere along the line. So you can just lark's head that loop onto your tarp, which I'll do now. So lark's headed on there, and your loop alien is mobile along the length in between the tarp and the tree. And as long as it's not under great tension, you can move that backwards and forwards. And you can see it's lark headed on like that, and if it's put under tension it'll just slip. So what you need is, when you put it around the tree, some way of locking it. So if you rotate it around the line of the tie out, you'll see it gets that lock-off effect. You see what I'm saying? So the one line runs over the other and it locks it in position. You just do that by rotating it from its sort of natural standing position like that around until it locks off. If you do it the other way, it doesn't lock off so easily, it doesn't cross over. You don't get the crossover effect and it'll still slip. So you'll soon find out. If it slips, just rotate it around itself the other way until it does lock off, like that. And then you do the same thing as we did before, ensuring that it's rotated and locked off, putting a bite of the line through the hole, over the little eye, and it'll trap itself there. Tension up, just pull on the loose end, and it'll go that way. And it locks off nicely. To release it, they're all pretty easy. You just twist the loop alien so that that tight line does release this loose line, and down it goes. That's okay. And then same again for locking off, around the waist, back behind a few times, so you lock it off in there. And Bob's your uncle. The advantage of this one is obviously you can move the loop alien where you want it. It doesn't go all the way back to the tarp, so if you've got a long hang, you've got slightly more efficient use of material. I tend to use the one where the loop alien's right back here. I get two because I'm using the 1.2mm Dyneema. I want to spread that load over the two lengths of the thin cord. This big stuff, plenty strong, so you don't need that. So you can go for wider hangs, and you can move this loop alien. I'm taking that locking effect off, sliding it quite close to the tree if you need to. Tying it off up there. Just that extra adjustability. Go with what you like. Okay, so I've got my tarp. This is a cheap little tarp, cost me 20 quid. Not bad, polyurethane, but seems to be holding up pretty well. 20 quid, not bad. And it's got 4 guy tie-outs. Haven't rigged it up yet, but these are also some very nice little tie-outs I use, and it's tensioned with a Prusik loop. I also make them at figure 8 style, so I can quickly release them when I need to. The Prusik loop just goes straight onto the tie-out on the top. I tend to use my lightweight ones I've made out of 1mm Dyneema, and they're less than a gram each. These are some ones I use on the cheap tarps like this, and this stuff is 1.7mm polypropylene braided, and this is also a single braid 2mm polypropylene. It's not super strong, it's probably got about 60 kilo brake strain, but that's okay because I'd rather this brake than the tarp, and 60 kilos is not too bad. Don't know what that is in American money. And so I've rigged it up so my figure 8 wrap held together, and I can just pull the end to release it and off it goes. And that goes to my peg somewhere around here. And to tension, I just pull on the other end. I've spliced a loop in either end so you can use it either way around, and that tensions it out, and it'll self-manage the locking on there. If it is sliding through, you can just pull it a bit tighter to make sure it binds onto the line, or you can pull on the end in the same direction as the tie out, and that'll help lock it in there nicely. When you're ready to open up the tarp, tend to work on one end, open it up, loosen out, and that means if it's a windy day, you've not got a whole tarp to worry about, you've only got one half. So nothing. Peg that one out, peg that one on the other side. Obviously I'll rig up with the same guy lines on the other side, but I'm in a bit of a rush. I'm sure you don't need to see all that stuff. Let's just pack up and go. So, packing up time, you can just throw them all in there if you want. You may be storing yourself up some trouble for later on, because you might have a bag of knitting and you just pull your snakeskin over everything. So if it's just a one-nighter and I don't give a damn, I'm going to sort it out at home, I might just do that. But if I'm in a finickety-wickety mood, I should make them up properly. So you can release the Prusiks, you can just roll them a little bit. So you roll it open and just loosen up those wraps, and it'll slide through much easier. Slide it through till you're down to one end. Rock and roll, and do the figure of 8 thing again to make up. Doing this, it tends to feed out nicely without tangles. Leave yourself a foot or so, and then wrap that around here. Wrap it nice and tight. And then take a bite, push it through the hole in the centre, and pull on the Prusik, and find it now nice and tight, and you've got an end ready to pull when you're ready to go. Throw them inside. This is sometimes a problem with snakes when you get that air effect, but that'll work out. You can work that out okay. And there we go. Put it away nice and neat. I'll make up the end tie-outs the same way, figure of 8 style, and I've got some little pockets in the snake skins I tuck those into, so they're ready to deploy again. I hope that makes sense to you all. Catch you later.